Hello, Christina Giordano of Sold here. For those of you who are just seeing me for the first time, I do these weekly videos related to marketing in the new paradigm. And my business is called Sold, Soul apostrophe D. And that essentially refers to selling with soul, because to me, that is the new paradigm of marketing. That is what we need to step into in order to market ourselves in an aligned way, in a more effective way, because right now, people are motivated by alignment more than anything. And if we can align with them like a magnet, with what we say, what we stand for, how we can serve them, and actually reflect the true transformation we provide, that is when that alignment between us and between our audience happens. So, back to today's episode. Happy almost eclipse season. We are definitely in the portal of the eclipse. Now, while I do love a good astro alert, this isn't really about that. It's simply an update. Now, in the past, I did do a lot of astrology reports. That was something I found as fun, as exciting, as a way for me to kind of have new and relevant content to share. But what I'm realizing is the thing that I do isn't really related to astrology. It could be. Selling with soul could be related to the astrology, because in a way you are, when you're aligned, you do become more aligned with the cosmos, with the natural way of things, with the universe. And so in a way, yes, astrology could be relevant to this, but I'm veering more towards really focusing on the actual topic at hand of selling with soul. And so in the past, you may have seen videos related to astrology. You will not be seeing those anymore, unfortunately. I might bring some astro talk into this, but because it's not exactly what I am personally selling, I want to get to the heart of what I do through the content that I'm sharing on here. So today's episode is simply an update. And I took a break this past week to grieve the loss of my grandmother and lay her to rest in my hometown near Cleveland, Ohio. And aside from this, I've been kind of tuning into what's next for myself. And one of the things I did last week was I did a meditation that took me on a year ahead journey. I don't know if you've done one of these before, but it was a year ahead journey where you see in your mind, in your mind's eye, who you could be a year from now. And what I saw was a more radiant, expansive, relaxed, peaceful, powerful, and energized version of myself. And it was a version of myself that was just so contained, and not in a forced and controlled way, but in a way that reflected a different kind of power, which is reflective of the new paradigm of marketing. And in the meditation, I was able to ask myself, what habits have gotten you here and what habits have you released along the way? And a lot of the responses I've received had to do with trust. So, trusting myself to know myself, trusting the divine within me and around me, trusting that I will act when called. It's so easy these days and even in the past to feel the pressure to move, to do something, whether it's because a coach is coaching you to do it based on their own experiences, beliefs, or maybe it's because you need money in the bank and rent isn't going to pay itself, or it's because everyone around you is doing something, and so why aren't you? And when I looked at myself a year from now in this meditation, she was so incredibly in her own integrity, in her own power, in her own timeline, in her own reality. She wasn't concerned about what so and so thinks about how you should show up in business. She was in such a deep state of receivership within her own energetic body that money was simply received because she was always open to receiving. And she didn't need to do anything outside of being open to inspiration, to listening with anticipation, and actually dwelling in the excitement of anything is possible. She had finally let go of control. She had surrendered to uncertainty, and she had really freed herself of an outdated paradigm that she simply outgrew. And I'm sharing this not so that you can have the same experience or so that you can do this experience, but Because amidst of the noise of the thousands of consultants and experts and coaches telling you to trust me, I want you to trust you. And this is the foundation of all of my work. I will never project my beliefs and experiences onto you. I will never expect or ask you to show up in a way that compromises your boundaries or your energy or your wholeness. And I will never let you move or act outside of your own integrity. So, how can you work with me? Well, right now there are three main ways. The first is called the Meetup, and you'll find this on my site at ChristinaGiordano.com under Get Guidance. The first is called the Meetup, and this is a 90-minute one-to-one where we discuss anything marketing related you want to talk about. And it's where you will exit the conversation feeling aligned with and empowered by a marketing strategy that you actually want to stick to. The next option is called the Mega. And this is a half-day one-to-one where you complete my signature program, the main methods, in your own time. And when you're ready, we come together and meet and we make meaning of your discoveries from the self-study program. And then I step away for a little bit to take some time to work on your marketing strategy for you. And then we come back together and review it. So again, that's a half-day one-to-one experience with me. And then there's the Main Methods program. I kind of mentioned this already, but this is my signature digital program featuring all three of my methods that you can do in your own time. So with recordings and workbooks, you can complete the program in as little as 3 hours or over the course of a weekend. And you'll essentially walk away with a marketing strategy that feels refreshed and revitalized and completely reflective of who you are, what you stand for, and how you can truly help others. Because I'm going to be honest, if there's one thing that I'm seeing right now more than ever, it's that people want to trust themselves. They want to trust themselves. They want themselves to be their own guru. And we've slipped away from this knowing, from this being. And what we're doing now, at least what I'm seeing on Instagram and on any other social media marketing channel, is that people will prop themselves up in a way that makes others feel or seem inferior to them. And it gives this energy of you're incapable. And I will always, always, always believe that people are capable. They are capable. All of my clients that I have ever worked with are capable. And when I see this kind of, I guess you can call it manipulation, it's more often than not a control tactic to leverage your following or to leverage your looks or to leverage something related to something superficial. And what it does is it doesn't actually feed the heart, it feeds the ego. And when we're coming from this place of serving in a way that more often than not validates us instead of validating another, that's not selling with soul. And it's going to take some time for people to learn this. I mean, I'm still learning it, and I've been trying to trailblaze here through doing this, but selling with soul is really when you're getting to the heart of what you do and you're talking about what you do in a way that is truly reflective of the actual transformation you provide. And you're marketing yourself with integrity, and you're monetizing yourself in a way that honors your multidimensionality. So there's all of these pieces of selling with soul, of sold, that are necessary for right now, for this new time, for us to not only be able to trust each other more, but to be able to trust ourselves more. It's another way to be contained, not with the force or control, but with integrity and the very essence that is you. So if you're interested in working with me, head to ChristinaGiordano.com/get guidance. The Get Guidance button is at the top of my page. You'll find more information there on how you can work with me. Also, feel free to check out my blog. I call it Christina's Clarity Corner. Um, Everything gets posted there, from my videos on here to transcribed versions of these videos to other topics related to selling with soul. So definitely check it out. And as always, I'm signing off with a be well and take care.